So once again, I welcome to you my YouTube channel, and we will start from the place where we left in the last video. And as I remember, we left at this layout and everything like this. And now what we have to do is we have to go inside geometry, and this is the next step we have to follow. And this step is just basically to arrange all the objects according to the layers, and we will work on only those objects and those layers which we have to deal and which we have to send to inside Unreal Engine. So go in geometry and now Control A, and once we do Control A, only all the objects that are in geometry type, that are of geometry type, will be selected. And once they are selected, go inside create layer and then create a layer out of the selected objects, and now name them 01 underscore geometry and hide that layer. Now all the objects that were in geometry type or those that were geometry now hidden. Now what we have to do is go inside shapes and then do Control A and then again make a layer and then name it 02 underscore shapes and again hide it. Now geometry, all the geometry objects are hidden, all the shapes are hidden. So now what we have to do is go inside light and then Control A and then again make a layer and name it 03 underscore lights and again hide that layer and then go in cameras, Control A and then make a new layer, name it 04 cameras and then hide it, and then go inside helpers, Control A and then make a layer, name it 05 underscore helpers, and now delete all the layers on which there are no objects present. So I have selected all these layers where there are no, on which there are no objects, and I just right click and then delete it. And there is a layer which is forest template, and let me see what are they. They are just null objects because I don't have forest pack installed, so anyway they are not useful. Just select them, all of them, and then delete it and delete that layer because we don't need any forest item here at the moment. So after we have categorized all the objects present inside scene on the layers, now we will go and unhide our geometry, or just click unhide all objects on my geometry layer and just switch off this default layer also, and then make this geometry layer as a active layer. So this was the fourth step which we have to take. Now after this, what we have to do is we have to break the objects into smaller pieces, as small as possible. So let's do that. We will go inside all now and then select this item and Alt Q. Let's see what is this. This whole object is a single object, and if we have to unwrap this, it will be very difficult, and if anyhow we unwrap it, and if it's not difficult, what will be the problem is this the 0 to 1 space on unwrap UV map will be not enough for good light baking inside on this object, and we have to increase the resolution of the object too much. That is, maybe we will have to increase it by 2K or 4K, and on that 4K resolution of mesh, this whole object will never be seen inside the camera, and after that also it will be very long. This object will be very big for 2K or 4K, and you will come to know once we will bake the light. And I am just going with my experience, and I am just showing you which I have used on all my projects, and which have worked very nicely for me. So the next step after that last fourth stage of arranging all the objects on layers is to break all the objects into as small parts or object as possible. For that, what I will do is I will just go inside this, select the element, and I will see if there are more than one element on this or not. So now there are no more than one element on this. So what we will have to do is we'll just go in polygon, and then I will switch on this, and then I will select all these polygons. So we are seeing that this box which I don't want to see, then we will have to go inside configure and selection bracket. Just go inside shaded and viewport and right click here, go in configure, and then in visual style and in appearance uncheck these selection brackets, and then okay. Now we don't have those bracket. This will be very time consuming task, but for a very nice result and very nice lightmas baking on objects, we have to do it. If you think you don't want to do this process, it's up to you, but if it's me who wants to do a realistic architectural visualization as real as possible, then I am going to do it, because I have used this process in lots of projects and achieve nice results. It may be a bit time consuming, but it will save time on other things, because to unwrap this whole object it will be even more harder. So now I have selected all the faces, and my general rule of thumb was I will select all faces until where this face is at 90-degree angle. See, I will not continue like this here. I have discontinued here, and see, everywhere it's forming a 90-degree angle. Here it's 90-degree angle, here it's 90-degree angle, here it's 90-degree angle, here it's 90-degree angle, and here it's 90-degree angle. So now you may know that I will detach object based on this formula till the place or till the area where it will make a 90-degree. I will keep the whole object, and after that I will detach it. So press D, and I have changed the disable viewport shortcut, that is max default, from D to detach editable polygon of editable polygon, to detach polygon of an edit poly. So we will click OK. Now again I will go and select all these objects, detach, and then detach, and now see what happens. There may be some times you can make some exception, it's not a big deal, but the general rule of thumb will be like this, that you have to detach all the objects. And while you are detaching the objects, always try to maintain as rectangular or as square as the object can be, so that if we unwrap it on channel number 2 and we will do automatic unwrapping. And now I'll detach it. I think this will be the area which you will be able to see inside 3D Studio Max. So let's detach the white objects or the areas which we will see, and then rest we will leave them as it is, because they will not be visible inside the camera anyway. So as you can see, the default model which I downloaded was modeled according to whatever they believed was the process, but for that to work inside the Unreal Engine, these types of steps had to be taken inside consideration if you want to achieve and I may emphasize this again and again, that if you want, because personally I think these are the steps which are too kind of boring, you may say, or kind of repetitive, or kind of time consuming, but they really do count in the final result, and for that I'm 100% sure that they really do count. All the efforts that we'll be making will be worthwhile. And what are those things? And these things are, in all the steps from earlier, this is the fifth steps as I remember, and in fifth steps you have to detach the object as much as possible. So now what happened is, we detached the roof. Okay, I think this roof can be detached in two parts. Now I will select some helping meshes around them so that I can decide, and I think there is a partition here, and for that and then again select this, and then again I will detach these. So and I will detach one or two more objects, so that now these objects are already just Control Q and Alt Q. Every object in this of this thing is already separated. See, everything is separated and separate element, and these are all separated because I have opened all the groups, otherwise they will be not kind of separate elements. And here we will go inside these elements and then detach it, and then detach it, and then again if you see anything, just now I'm sure that all the objects are here. Here all the objects are separate elements. None of the objects are attached with each other. So I will Control A and hide. And now I will finish this tutorial by detaching all the walls and the floor. See, this floor is a single object. I will select it, right click it, convert it inside editable poly, and then go inside polygon, detach it, and then leave this object. So now what happened is, this floor object has been detached in three elements. Now hide them, and now I will show the last object to detach, so that you can clearly know what has to be done. I have selected wall, and then I have used Alt key, and then this is a Boolean object, and if you unwrap this object, it will be disaster. To prevent that disaster of the mesh being of this much of big mesh being unwrapped, we have to right click, convert into editable poly, go inside poly, and now see every place where it's forming 90-degree angle. See, here it's 90-degree angle, here it's 90-degree angle. Select this, detach, and I think we don't need to detach this into separate object. We should just attach it, and then go inside vertex, Control A, and then weld the vertex. Okay, then hide it. So see, this side all the faces are now detached, if you can see. Now go to this side, and then go inside, select all these faces, and then detach, and don't try to steal time in this process. This process is time consuming, but as I said earlier, it really counts at the end. When you render the scene, it really counts. You will be happy with the result because of all these steps which you are taking while preparing the scene for Unreal Engine. You will be happy with the result, and the result don't only come because of an awesome lighting. The scene has to be prepared in a way that can support an awesome lighting, and I hope what I mean you can understand what I mean. It's not only you are going to do some lightings and that lighting will be like bringing the release. The object has to support it's in entirety. If everything has been done accordingly, and then due to entirety of all the steps you have taken, the result will be good. Don't mistake, but yes, don't be mistaken that the realism is because of the lighting you have done. No, if the object is not prepared accordingly, nicely, and all these processes which I am letting you know, these processes and techniques will be very hard to understand and learn if I don't teach you. But don't worry, I'm here and I will do everything I can to let you know how to do an architectural visualization inside Unreal Engine in the best possible way. Just keep an eye what is the pattern of breaking object. See, what has happened is, I will let you explain after breaking all these objects. So now just try to understand what I have done is this object H, this is a separate object now H, this is a separate object now, and if this is not separate item, just now you can make an element, detach it, and now this is also a separate element, hide it. All these are items, all the objects, they will be visible from the camera, if you can understand what I mean. Most of them will be visible in the camera. This will be visible, this will be visible, this will be visible. I'm just going on hiding. Okay, this will be visible, and we need to break these objects. We need to cross check so that we are getting what we were targeting for. Just hide it and then go from inside, because we only want to bother about the objects which are going to be seen from the camera. So now every object, everything which is present inside this skeleton of is not going to be visible from the camera, and everything which was going to be visible, I have breaked it and I have detached it. Can hide, 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 hide it, and you have to just follow that same pattern and detach. All these items should be detached as much as possible. Small chunks, if they are already in small pieces, then it's okay, no problem. And I will let you know how to detach this escartings. This escarting should never be a single object. This whole object should never be a single object. Isolate it, go inside, convert to editable poly, and then go to polygon, and then detach. You see, it has to be, every skirting should be detached in a separate element at every 90-degree angle. Wherever it's forming a 90-degree angle, just detach and make it a separate object, and just keep on going. And at the end of the object, suppose you break this. Okay, let me show you how you need to break the windows, and just break every project, just break the windows the way I am going to break. See, these windows generally used to be in a rectangular format. Convert it into editable poly, Go inside polygons, select this is forming almost 90 degree, detach it. So now the whole window is separate elements, and I have tried to maintain 90 degree angle as much as possible, and then hide it. And if you go on, keep on doing all this process, at the end of the day you will detach and hide this, you will detach and hide this, detach and hide this, detach and hide these sofas, and everything will be hidden. So you don't need to detach the background image. Suppose I have detached all these elements and I will hide it. Suppose I'll detach all this object one by one, one by one, one by one, one by one. I have this detaching and hiding, detaching and hiding, detaching and hiding, detaching and hiding. At the end of the day, okay, what has to be done on this type of object is just right click on it and then convert to editable mesh. Then again, as I shown earlier, go inside explode, make one edge 0 and then explode. Okay, and now what happened is these are all separate objects. See how I detached all the objects. You need to detach everything, break them apart, explode them into several different elements as much as possible. It's extraordinary, so it's extra crucial to do this. Just don't give a second thought, believe me, do this. It will help you get the result. After we do an awesome lighting, it will help us to get the result, and at the end of the work everything in the viewport will be hidden. And if it in this process, if everything is hidden, that means this step of breaking and detaching object is completed. So in next video I will let you know what is the next step that has to be taken for further optimization of the scene. By then I will meet you all in the next video. Have fun, enjoy, and see you guys. Tata, bye bye, GG.